and Benjy by Artsroll, Middos Publications, written by Chani Friedman and illustrated by Norman Noddle. The bases were loaded. The tension was great when and Benjy stepped up to the plate. It was right at the bottom of the very last inning, with and Benjy's team 3 runs from winning. But a 4th run would really make Benjy's head spin, because he'd break the league record for runs batted in. Benjy glanced to his left. He glanced to his right. Then he picked up the bat, and with all of his might, he swung, and the ball met the bat with a pop. It sailed through the air. Would that ball ever stop? The crowd all went wild, and they yelled in a roar. Here's the moment you've been waiting for. To break the league record, just score this home run. Then and Benjy, you'll be number 1. As fast as the wind, Benjy headed for first. Reached second so quickly, he thought he might burst. To third he just flew. Why, his shoes left no mark. Then he made a sharp turn and ran out of the park. Oh no, so look, he was supposed to go around this way, but instead, and Benjy went around the bases, and then he just ran out of the park. Isn't that strange? The crowd stopped their screaming. You could hear a pin drop. The umpire's jaw just dropped open. Kaplock! Then from out of the stand came a voice speaking low. Hey, what's going on here? Where did that kid go? Pinch me, I'm dreaming, a second one said. Did I see what I saw? He asked, scratching his head. Oh, you saw what you saw, the crowd called in reply. That kid just ran off, and we'd like to know why. We'd like to know why, and we'd rather not wait. See, they're all terribly upset. Just then and Benjy strolled back through the gate. Hey, and Benjy, you know what you've done? You ran the wrong way and just blew your home run. Did you lose all your senses, or just lose your way? Well, and Benjy, what have you to say? So they couldn't understand why in the world would he miss running a home run and run out of the park. I can see you're confused, so I'll try to explain why I let a home run just slip right down the drain. Then and Benjy sat down on the mound and called to the crowd, come on, gather round. I'll be glad to relate the events that took place at precisely the moment I rounded third base. Says he rounded third base. He noticed something. What did he notice? As I was running with wings on my feet, it happened by chance that I glanced across the street, where I saw Rabbi Brown coming out of the store with his arms full of packages, 7 or more. And I thought in a flash, I should go lend a hand. So I went, and I hoped you would all understand. So, children, the reason he ran out of the park, the sun's coming in my way. The reason he ran out of the park was because he saw that Rabbi Brown needed help with his bags, and he wanted to go help him. Let's see what they say next. Well, we do understand that you did a good deed, but you rushed off to help. When you rushed off to help out a person in need. But and Benjy, you were close to home plate. It's great to do mitzvahs, but couldn't it wait? Yes, couldn't it wait? The crowd's cry now grew greater. A mitzvah is a mitzvah still 3 seconds later. Right, so they tell him, Hey, Benjy. Yeah, we're glad you went to help the old rabbi carry his bags. But couldn't you wait to do it later? Get your home run and then go. Let's see what Benjy answers. Now Batim and Benjy let out a great sigh. I too once believed I could let time slip by before doing a mitzvah I knew I should do. I'd think and rethink it till I thought the thing through, and when all of my thinking was over at last, I'd find that the time for the mitzvah had passed, right? So if you're not there right away to do the mitzvah, you might miss it. Please tell us about it. The crowd drew in near. We're really quite anxiously waiting to hear how you came to discover what you seem to now know. When a good deed needs doing, just get up and go. Well, it's quite a long story, but I'm happy to tell how I learned this great lesson I now know so well. You remember last summer when Ellie Levine went out to the country to visit Saul Green. One day they picked flowers, and it was really no joke when Ellie picked something that's called poison oak. So Ellie had picked something that's called poison oak, and he probably got a horrible rash. Oh dear, wasn't feeling well. See, that's Ellie, all covered in a rash. Oy vey, I remembered, said Mrs. Levine. She'd come to the ballpark to root for her team. He returned on the very first bus he could catch. Then he lay on his bed and all day long and scratched. He only stopped scratching when friends came to call. But Batim and Benjy did not come at all. Oh no, why would Batim and Benjy not come to visit his friend who's not feeling well? I did not come at all, though I knew and know still it's a mitzvah to visit a friend who is ill. But instead of just going, what did I do? I thought and rethought till I thought that thing through. So Batim and Benjy was ready to go, but he wasn't sure. He had to think it through. On Monday I thought, what if I get there and knock on the door, and Ellie is sleeping? I'll wake him mid-snore. He'll jump out of bed, and while still in a daze, he'll stumble and knock down his mother's good vase. Then Mrs. Levine will be awfully upset. Oh my, what a talking to Ellie will get. He'll lose his allowance for a week, maybe more. And all this because I just knocked on the door. So children, this didn't really happen, but Batim and Benjy was thinking if he does come, maybe that will happen. It didn't happen. He was just thinking maybe it could happen. Why, this really might happen. The chances are good. I'm not saying it will. I'm just saying it could. On Tuesday, I thought, I'm off to see Ellie. I'll leave right away. We'll have a fine visit. It's such a nice day. We'll sit in the yard and enjoy the cool breeze. I only hope Ellie won't catch a cold and sneeze. He'll sneeze in the daytime. He'll sneeze through the night. In all the between time, he'll scratch, what a sight. All that sneezing and scratching. Scratch, sneeze, scratch, achoo. Sneeze first or scratch first, or what will he do? This can really occur. I can see how it would. There's no way to be certain, but the chances are good. So Batim and Benjy was worried that maybe if he comes to visit him and they'll be outdoors, Ellie will catch a cold. On Wednesday, I thought, I'm visiting Ellie. This time there's no doubt. I can't understand what the fuss is about. I'll just march to his house and say, hi, how are you? Then his mother will offer a cookie or two, and I'll certainly eat one. Her cookies are great. In fact, I'll eat 2 or 7 or 8. or 20 or 40? What if I can't stop? I'll just keep it up till I fill to the top. Oh, and oh, what a terrible guest I will make. As I moan and I groan from a great bellyache. Why, the chances are good this could really take place. I cannot say for sure, but it might be the case. So you see, children, Batum and Benjy kept imagining that if he goes, things might go wrong. Now on Thursday I thought, well, 3 days have passed and I've got a plan to visit with Ellie as soon as I can. But first I will call to make sure he's awake and ask him to put away things that can break. There's nothing to fear from a chill in the air if I just bring a sweater for Ellie to wear. To offers of cookies, I'll say, thank you, no. There, I've thought it all through now, so tomorrow I'll go. So now I had a great plan to come. And now Batum and Benjy stood up on the mound, and for several long seconds did not make a sound. He looked round at the crowd, and he asked, speaking low, can you guess what occurred when I did at last go? So finally, Ellie did go. On Friday, he finally went to visit his friend. Sorry, not Ellie, Batum and Benjy. Batum and Benjy finally did go to visit his friend, Ellie, right, who wasn't feeling well, who had the rash. No need to guess, spoke up Mrs. Levine. Let's not forget I was there at the scene. Batum and Benjy called Friday, that's true. First he explained how he'd thought the thing through, and then he announced he was coming at last. But for doing this mitzvah, the moment had passed. You see, Ellie was better. That's what I mean. He'd gone back to the country to visit Saul Green. So now his friend Ellie was all better. He didn't need guests anymore. He wasn't even home anymore. He had gone back to the country to visit his other friend called Saul Green. Then Batum and Benjy said, that was the day I learned that a mitzvah's best done right away. Now nothing can stop me from getting one done, not even the chance to score a home run. Right? So even though Batum and Benjy could have scored a home run, he didn't. Instead, he ran to go and help Rabbi Brown with all of his packages. Now the crowd buzzed aloud with the story they'd heard. But it was the umpire who had the last word. Batum and Benjy may not be a name that ever goes down in the Sports Hall of Fame, but for doing this, his mitzvahs with super quick speed, Batum and Benjy's a hero indeed. So children, everybody realized that Batum and Benjy had done the right thing. And in this artsroll book of Middos, children, it teaches us the good midah of doing a mitzvah quickly, right away, bezrizus, meaning bezrizut, very, very quickly. Right, children, right now, we're home with our parents, right, Baruch Hashem, and children, we need to listen to our parents, but we need to listen right away. If our parents ask us to do something, of course you're going to do it. But it's much better, it's a much greater mitzvah if you run and do it immediately. And you know what, children, maybe in the zchut of us rushing to do a mitzvah, children, Hashem will rush for us the greatest mitzvah of all, the building of the third Bet HaMikdash. Hashem himself will do quote unquote the mitzvah of bringing for us Mashiach. Because when we do mitzvahs, we're bringing Mashiach, right, kids? So may we have Mashiach now. Love you guys.